for each logical gate. This is an example, and or and generic code. Okay, one practical application of the technical function, because this is the main innovation of Eureka. For example, suppose that we have to analyze the house system, that is the main airport weather system. And by the way, there is a simulation of the house produced by TechnoSky in our stand. So, as you can see, the house is composed by a set of sensors in the aerodrome, okay, that are placed on a mast, on a pole. Sensors like the sensor for the wind direction, wind speed, temperature, humidity, and so on, plus a set of sensors near the runway. So the RPR, the celiometer, the speedometer, and so on. Then we need, of course, a network in order to transmit data to the servers, to the central servers. And of course, in the tower, we have the client collaboration, okay, for the presentation and for the works of the actors. Well, the question is a single switch acceptably safe, that switch? Or does a double switch configuration increase the reliability and availability of the whole system? Okay. In order to respond to these questions, of course we have to perform the so-called technical functional analysis. So we know that we have the house system, that is our main target. We know that the house is composed by client collaboration, network, servers, and sensors. So these four items are the technical function of the system. First of all, I have identified the technical function. Then the question was about the network. Very well, I can realize the functional tree of the network technical function, and very simply, in this case, the network is the end of a set of switches or transducer on the network. And the question was about the presence of a second switch for the pole in the aerodrome. Okay, so we need a second switch, so an OR gate or not. And this is the result. We can perform the RAM analysis on the functional tree, and these are two calculus. As you can see, the house reliability in case of two switches is greater than in case of one switch. The same we can say for the house availability and the house MTBF. So, but the main important result is the last one, because as you can see, there is a linear dependence, okay, a linear dependence between the reliability of the only network and the reliability of the whole house. So, numbers say this. Okay, the fact is that Eureka methodology, in this case, is not only an assessment methodology, an assessment solution. It is like a product that we can use for the what-if analysis. Okay, and this is a very important result. Going on, the functional tree is very important also because we can use the technical functions, for example, the signal transmission that we met before. We can use it like the lift of an Eiger-Leibert functional tree, where the root is the service itself. So what does this mean? In this example, we have the surveillance service of the eco-whiskey sector. What does this mean? That in an automatic way, we can perform the RAM analysis of the whole systems. Of course, always from the point of view of the equipment, but this is another important result because we have the quantitative control of system and not of the service and not only of the system. Okay. Okay, why Ina can say that the Eureka methodology is efficient? Suppose that we have realized the equipment analysis of the ACC number 1, okay, the Area Control Center number 1. Of course, I have all the functional trees of all the services of that ACC. And if I have to assess another ACC, the efficiency is given by only one thing: the reuse of what? The reuse of the functional trees. Because I can apply the same functional trees to the second ACC, but of course I have to make only minor changes. So we are able to save a lot of man days because the functional trees are like a model, are not only an assessment of the airport or of the ACC. This is another important result. Okay, always saying the field of equipment analysis, the Markov methodology is very important because it's very close to the resilience. Why? The first step of Markov is the identification of the degradation states of a system. For example, here we have 4 degradation states: the standard condition, the unavailable system, and 2 middle layers, not critical degradation, critical degradation. But the second step of Markov is a quantitative calculus of 2 parameters. The first one is the probability that a system stays in one of these states. And the second is the calculus of the probability of transition and the frequency of transition between one state and another, between one scenario and another. Only to give you a figure, for the Rome ACC that we have analyzed, we have identified 4,096 degradation states of Markov. But this is very important because from the point of view of the resilience, Markov is very close because we know that which are the states, and we know which states are safe and secure, and we know which are the transition. So this is a very example of resilience from the point of view of equipment, of course. Then, people and procedure analysis. We know that there are a lot of methodology in this field. Here we have only an example with the ASOP technique that we use in Italy. The ASOP is composed by 3 important steps. First of all, the observation. Okay, the awareness is fundamental. We have to observe the sector characteristics, we have to observe the operational activities execution, and we have to know the criteria and decision-making process of the air traffic controllers, of each air traffic controller. Then, a very important step is modeling. We have to realize the models of what we have observed. Okay. In this case, modeling of the execution sequences and model of activity for each operator. Okay, so the human factor is very important, of course, for the assessment. Then the last step is the focus group in order to perform a risk assessment of every sector, thanks to the collaboration with the ATCAS, and then the people-related hazard identification. So hazard is a standard technique, and this is only a little bit customized. Okay. Well, security analysis. In Eureka, we use, as I say, the Magritte methodology that is very useful because it is able to assess the security of logical and physical assets. And for example, we can assess the cyber security, we can assess the data transmission, we can assess the security of the buildings and so on. Here only an example, very simple example, the task that we follow for the Magritte methodology. First of all, risk assessment. Again, the awareness is very important for the safety and security. Then the risk evaluation and the risk reporting. And please note that the risk reporting is a key step because the culture in safety and in security is fundamental. Okay. Then the decision-making support and the definition of intervention, that is the identification of the mitigation action that we have to implement, okay, in order to improve the security. And finally, again, the presentation of the result, again, the culture, again, the spread of the information in the organization. Okay, conclusion. Eureka methodology is designed for safety and security assessment with the opportunity to perform what-if analysis and to support cost-benefit analysis. So we have seen the example of the house. I can say that the Eureka methodology is also useful for the impact analysis, and in fact, INAP used this methodology in Germany, in Italy, but also in order to respond, in order to write the technical proposal for the call for tenders. Okay, so this is not only an assessment solution. Then, a very important innovation is the automation of the Eureka methodology aimed at a continuous data update. Only one word because the full automation it is possible only for the equipment analysis, of course, and it is impossible for the people analysis and human factor because we need for this group and we need different kind of analysis. The automation is possible only if you control the situation through the ERP system. Okay, only if you have the full configuration version control of your systems. Finally, of course, INAS Group is available for consulting advice and to provide resilience assessments in accordance to Eureka methodology. And of course, we guarantees the maximum level of confidentiality that is required for this topic, for the safety and for the security. Well, only our contacts. My name is Federico Covino. We have the stand number 927. And here you can read the email of the business department. And thank you very much. Any question? There is anybody directly involved in the SMS, in the safety management system? No? Okay. So thank you very much.